The quantity of New World students registration at joint state universities and colleges went downward by nearly 7% recent year, on to formal information published the monthly. It's the other year in a row how the quantity of New World enrollments in the U.S. has rejected, denting a marketplace cost $42 bn, £33 bn, to the U.S. economics recent year. Professor Simon Marginson, of Oxford College, and specialist on trends in world students, says there is slight question the downturn is associated to the Trump card authority. He says it's a conjunction of the against immigration messages setting off applicants and the astringent of the undergraduate visa framework. The World Institution of Formation, that gathers the yearly information, requested capacity recruitment on reasons for not student in the U.S., and found a mix of policy, practicalities, and price. The visa annex trial was the solitary largest obstacle, but as well often quoted was the public and policy environmental in the U.S. The top price of training was aforementioned, but so too was sense unwanted in the U.S. and concerns on natural security in the U.S. The largest waterfall are of places such as India, Southward Korea, Mexico, and Saudi Arabia. But there's as well been a decrease in numbers departure to U.S. universities of the UK, Germany, and France. Which's very remarkable on the drop in enrollments is how it's the cancellation of a design of increase how has lasted for many decades. The joint state has been unusually success in engaging the planet's largest stake of the world undergraduate marketplace. In the previous 1960s, there were on 50,000 world students in the U.S. And the drawing grew year following year, so it had rising more than rather than tenfold by 2000 to above 500,000. In 2015, there were more than rather than a millionth across the sea students in the U.S. There are finance benefits, but it's as well been seen as an essential portion of U.S. gentle force and promotion the nation's world impact. The common numbers of world students in the U.S. framework has extended to push above, since of the increase of a schema how allows students to remain in the U.S. for up to 3 years to evolve job skills following ending. But the considerable dip in new students registration, downward 10% above 2 year, suggests how many decades of growing popular has stalled. There would include been a greater drop, besides for the ruthless growth in consumer demand of China students, who are by far the largest team of across the sea students in the U.S. Among 2000 and 2018, the quantity of China students in the U.S. rose of 60,000 to more than rather than 360,000, generally concentration in topics such as scientific, technique, maths and industry. They give billions of dollars in U.S. high formation. But Professor Marginson, CEO of the Center for World High Formation, says there would be potential disastrous implications for U.S. college incomes if any tactful row or trading controversy stopped the stream of China students. The newest figures show how U.S. high formation looks to Asia for its world undergraduate protection, quite rather than to West countries. China and India expense for part of all the across the sea students in the U.S., and there are more than Iran students in the U.S. rather than such of the UK. The UK is the largest Europe censor of students to the US but yet accounts for just 1% of its world consumption. There are on 11,500 UK students in the US framework, in light waterfall in the history pair of year. There was an growth while training charges rose in England but forecasts of a splash in numbers departure to US universities never very materialized. Else problem for the US is the growing popular of some college system, especially Australia and Canada. But the US by the government says it remnant devoted to engaging world students. Marie Royce, Aid Secretariat of Country for Education and Culture Sphere, told they were a terrible property to the joint state. We wish to email a communication how world formation makes us much stronger as a nation, she told.